Hello, everyone. Dan Mason here with a policy overview. A gender-based public policy is a government rule or program that focuses on differences between men and women. Traditionally, these policies were built around biological sex, male and female. For years, the goal was to address fundamental differences between men and women in areas like health, work, and family life. For example, maternity leave policies were created to protect women's health and job security during pregnancy and childbirth. Laws like the Equal Pay Act have pushed for women to receive the same pay as men for performing the same job. Programs also grew to encourage more women to enter fields like science, engineering, and politics, which were filled mainly by men. These kinds of policies made sense because they were grounded in biological reality. Men and women are not the same, and public policy often has to recognize those natural differences while offering both sexes equal dignity and opportunity. In recent years, however, the meaning of gender-based public policy has changed. The word gender no longer means biological sex in many government offices and schools. It now often refers to self-chosen identities like transgender, non-binary, or other fluid labels. This modern view pushes policies that allow biological men to enter women's restrooms, compete in women's sports, and even be housed in women's prisons. It pushes schools to teach that children can choose their gender, and sometimes gives legal protection to gender identity over biological sex. These new policies create serious problems. For example, girls are now losing sports scholarships to biological males who identify as female. Women's shelters and prisons face safety risks when biological men are allowed in those spaces. The focus has shifted from protecting people based on what they are, male or female, to protecting people based on how they feel. Some gender-based policies have remained stable, like those that deal with domestic violence or women's health, but even these are now being stretched to fit identity-based agendas. Programs that once served women now have to account for anyone who identifies as a woman, whether or not they are biologically female. This change raises the question of fairness. When laws ignore biological truth, women and girls pay the price. Many conservative and Christian thinkers argue that gender-based public policy should stay rooted in biological facts, not fluid feelings. They believe policies that erase the difference between men and women weaken society, confuse children, and promote lies over truth. When public policy drifts away from reality, it opens the door to chaos. Gender-based public policy at its core was meant to create fairness between men and women while respecting their differences. Today, the meaning of gender in public life is under attack. The debate is no longer about equal pay or maternity leave. It is about whether we will define gender based on biology or ideology. That decision shapes schools, sports, healthcare, law, and the future of society. The fight over gender is not just about policy. It's about whether we are willing to accept truth or whether we will surrender to confusion. Please like and subscribe.